Orecchiette with breadcrumbs, pancetta and cauliflower. Here we are in Lydia's garden, and this is a great dish with cauliflower. And cauliflower, very nutritious, it lasts a long time. So we're gonna make orecchiette with cauliflower and pancetta. Let's put in the orecchiette to cook. And there is just salt in that water, no oil. I know sometimes you are tempted to put that oil in there, but don't do that. Okay, this is hot. I have it going. A little pancetta. And I like my pancetta kind of a little bit on the thick side so that when you're biting it, you are getting a nice kind of little bite under your tooth. Okay, let's put that in there. So if you don't have pancetta, can you use anything else? Of course, you can use bacon, you can use prosciutto. If it doesn't have all that much fat to render, then, you might need a little bit more oil. Here, I'm gonna put just a little bit of oil to get things going here. Let's get this pancetta moving. I like it chunky, but it takes a little bit longer to caramelize. Next, we're gonna do the cauliflower. Can you use any other vegetable the same way? Absolutely. Broccoli, red cauliflower. You can use even leafy vegetables the same way, like kale in the wintertime, even cabbage. I want these florets to be smaller, not too big, so they cook quickly and they kind of blend with the orecchiette. Okay, the pancetta is rendered. I have a little bit of fat. Let's throw in the cauliflowers. And every little crumb of the cauliflower is perfectly good. Okay. Let me mix the orecchiette. They're getting there. Let me just cover this so I can raise the heat so that cooks while I got the leeks. So it's important, the leeks, that you wash them well, because leeks tend to have sand. They grow well in sand. And so you want to wash them well, and then you just kind of slice them. If you don't have leeks, what can you use? The onion family, and you can use onions. In the kitchen, be creative. Let's see where this is. I'm gonna throw in the leeks now. And I'm going to season this now with a little peperoncino. Okay, I said a little, not too much. Salt, certainly. Now the pancetta has salt, so not too much. Let me put a little bit of stock. So I have stock. I keep always, I make stock. I make big pot of stock, one like this and bigger. I'm gonna let the sauce cook now. The flavors have to meld a little bit, mold together, and the cauliflower has to break down. The pasta is cooking. I'm gonna clean up, and when we come back, we are ready to plate and eat. Here I am in my library again. I'm gonna check out what you have sent me. What are your questions? What do you wanna know from me? So let's begin with Chris. Do your herbs grow back like this every year? If so, how do you keep them through the winter? And are there some that you replant? Chris, some quick advice of what I do with my herbs. Basil, I buy the seeds and I plant them, and a lot of little plants come, and then I transplant them, separate them and let them grow. Bay leaves, I bring the whole plant, I cherish the plant, I bring it in and keep it warm and just right the whole winter. On the other hand, some of the other herbs, like sage, like thyme, I buy little plants and they sprout immediately out. So some I seed, some I bring in the house, and some I buy the little plants. The winter is a difficult time. So what does survive for me is basil and things like sort of leafy greens. You put that on the window, and once you use it, it will not regrow and all of that, but it will last. What I can tell you is with herbs, when you have abundant of them in the summer, in the spring, is that you freeze them. To freeze them is that you take leaves while they're nice and green, you fill it up with water, you seal it, and you freeze it. And they will stay green like that. when you defrost it and use them, they will be a little wilted, but they will still be green. So that's one way of keeping your beautiful herbs that you grow all summer in the house for the winter. Ah, the sauce is perfect. The pasta is cooked. Let's dish it right out and right into the sauce. And if you leave it a little al dente, it's gonna finish cooking in the sauce. Okay. Let me... You know, I always tell you, your pasta smiles. But it needs a little oil to smile. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of oil in here, just like that. And here I have some breadcrumbs, and we'll put just a little bit in here to sort of bind a little bit the sauce, but then I want them on top to feel the crunch on top of the pasta when it's served. Let's put a little bit of the breadcrumbs right in here like this. Okay. A little parsley. Ah, the pasta is really smiling at me now. It is ready to go. Looks great. Okay. Some grated pecorino. I always shut the fire when I add the cheese because you don't want the cheese to cook. If it cooks, the cheese separates. Oh, that looks good. Maybe just a little bit more of pecorino. You know, I love that. I love cheese. So here we are. This looks great. And we are ready to plate it. So, you know, you can plate it individually. You can put it in a big bowl. You know, sometimes when I have all the kids, and I bring the whole pot right to the table and let them kind of help themselves. All right. Oh, Lydia's plate. I've been forgetting Lydia. That's no good. That's no good. This is Lydia's plate right here. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of breadcrumbs to the plate on top, just for the look, just like that. 1, 2, a little crunch, and it looks great. And some pecorino right on top, just like that. And this is great when you do it at the table or you give everybody a piece of cheese and let them do their own thing. You know, whenever I cook, you guys look at me, oh, so Lydia, I am very curious myself, you know, how did it come out? So I'm looking forward to every tasting that I do. Okay, so let's see. Delizioso. You know, the cauliflower and the pecorino complement each other so well. I mean, you know, they're from the same terroir. They, in a sense, the Orecchiette and all of that comes from that area. And put together, it's delicious. So the birds are chirping, and I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna bring the rest of the table.